The woman just woke up. The result was a shocking discovery. A large number of unidentified sickle-shaped creatures. They were closing in on them, at the speed of like 40 meters per second. Berkeley was so scared that the diaper was wet. He quickly ran his legs to his companions, who nosed Dajan not only the slightest panic, instead pulled Tooth Sway toward the direction of the heavy sea. Look at the overwhelming heavy sea. I'm about to drown them both. At a crisis point, Dajan quickly smashed a bug. They whipped, then pulled Tooth Sway together into the box behind. Then the earth shook. I saw myriads of worms flying wildly over them. Even a plastic box made of pure iron. It was eaten away in an instant. Fortunately, after 3 days and 3 nights, the two were able to escape, already dripping with sweat. Find a water source right away, I'm going to wash myself. And he was just getting started. Dajan suddenly stopped him. Then he took off his coat. One side slowly approaching Erqui. Tooth Sway think each other will plot evil. So he quietly picked up a stone. To be ready to defend yourself at all times. Who knows, he looks back. I saw a fire snake 10 meters thick. It came at him suddenly. Fortunately, Dajan was able to hold him down in time. But here's the weird thing. The monster was surprisingly strong. 500 pounds of Big Strong actually was forced to lift in the air. See, Big Strong will be hidden height northwest. The 12-year-old hurried to get there. Take out a 40-meter dagger. Kushi cut the monster's roots. That's how he saved John's life. Only a few minutes. They've been through it twice. A thrilling fight to the death. Originally, they're on an alien planet called TY. And this place is full of man-eating metal monsters, only to find the legendary island of happiness, so they can live without shame once and for all. A happy life without shame just in case. Big John wrapped the snake around the fire stick, used as a weapon for self-defense, so the two men carried the box on. Who knows, the next second, it's like he saw something, you know. Then he pulled Tooth Sway hurried to lie on the ground. A black enoki mushroom burst out of the ground. Women want to move on. And then I get pulled by a man, and immediately lay him down. It turned out to be an alien creature called a salamander. 1 moment's inattention will kill you instantly. The other team, however, was not so lucky. I saw numerous fire snakes suddenly emerge from the ground, instantly surrounded by several people. Captain Bright Top hurried to tell everyone not to make a move. And then the next second, a larger and larger king of the salamander suddenly burst out of the ground. Then toward the crowd is a dragon wagging tail. Fortunately, several people got down in time. That saved us from being wiped out instantly. Who knew that a companion accidentally touched the fire snake? The next thing you know, he's headed straight for the salamander. Fortunately, Mulan cut the rope in time. That was a lucky escape. However, this also completely angered the monster. He opened his cherry mouth 10 meters wide. Then they stretched out countless branches and hit the crowd. I was about to die. The guy next to me stepped up. They headed for high ground in the distance. And then I get caught up in a monster. Next thing you know, he's got a delicious box lunch. The salamander herd then obediently departed. Finally understand the Tooth Sway question, Big Strong. Why did you just see death? Big Strong can only mean powers, and he's being hunted by the army himself. If you make a mistake, you are dead. It turns out that Dajan is in the intelligence system of Taxing City, implanted a Trojan virus, and he alone knows the code to detoxify it. So he had to get out of here as soon as possible, and find the legendary Isle of Happiness where you can take refuge. I didn't expect it to happen again. It turned out that the Bright Top blindsided the Big Strong. He wants to catch him, to trade the military for eternal freedom. Just never expected. The army is not going to make any deal with him. Results when the Bright Top enters the base the next second. He was taken down with a single shot by a military assassin. The killer used Erqui to threaten Big Strong obediently. At the right moment, Bright Top timely backward to result each other. The crowd is temporarily out of the killer crisis. But he also got a quick box lunch because of his injuries. But only 3 of them kept going. To find the island of happiness, only to be disappointed. A vast ocean blocked their way. These bugs covered in rocks. It's the only edible creature in the whole of Taixing. Big Strong grabbed a full cup for energy. However, Erqui would rather starve to death. I don't want to eat these disgusting things raw. He had no choice but to take the lead. So he picked up a bug. I put it in my mouth without hesitation. Wow. That's chicken to the crunch. He told Too Brittle, just think of bugs as chocolate. I don't feel too sick. And Too Brittle almost died when he took his first bite. But none of that is the point. It's about where they're going. Being cut off by an ocean. What do we do now? Just as a few people were dumbfounded, Dajan suddenly found these islands in the sea. It turned out to be patches of floating swamp. So they immediately landed on the floating island, open arms. It's blown across the sea by the wind. But Big Strong they soon found out. The buoyancy of the island, there's no way to support the weight of the 3 of them. The floating island is slowly sinking. Grandpa decided to go down the island, give the chance of survival to Big Strong 2 people. Big Strong still want to get each other back, and then the next second, I was immediately taken away by the underwater monster. And at the same time, military drones strike again. There was no way for them to escape. Can only stand there slowly waiting to die. Who knows, the next second the drones suddenly malfunction. One cartwheeled and fell straight into the sea. That's when Big John realized it. Turns out the virus he planted is finally working. Feed the pants, Buddha. However, the two were not happy for long. Then they hit another problem of the century. Only one, the 100-meter high waterfall stood in front of them. If we fall from here, 9 times out of 10, it's a pink bone, just in time. Big Strong quickly let Toot sway swamp wrapped in his body. And then the two of them are under 30 yards of gravity. Went down the waterfall. I didn't expect the two to survive. When they wake up again, I found myself on the other side of the sea. And this is the legendary island Happiness. Then Big Strong enters the password, a stone door burst open. Paid for a pure alien ship. The two eventually left sightseeing in a spaceship. And lived happily ever after without shame.